trust your crypto assets to centralized exchanges that actively sell your private information and front-run your trades? Would you like to buy and sell your assets without any middlemen, intermediaries, or robots? Do you like paying slippage, fees, and having the price go up as bots steal from you on low-liquidity decentralized exchanges? The solution is rejuve.ai. Set your guaranteed buy or sell price. No middlemen, no slippage, no bots, ever. Buy or sell 1, 10, or even 10 million tokens, and you never have to worry. OTC trades are between you and the seller or buyer, guaranteed by audited smart contracts and no human middlemen. Nodemarket.io.
All right. I think we got all the salutations in. Okay. All right. So Brandon's not going to be with us for a while. He's, I think he's on a plane somewhere, floating around up in the atmosphere, doing whatever you do on your way to wherever it is he's going. To the jungle. He's going to the jungle. All right. So you guys are stuck with me. So we're going to talk about all sorts of stuff. Let's see. Hello. Bump. All right. We're going to talk about Bitcoin and the potential incoming gamma squeeze. And then people were like, a short squeeze. Like, no, not a short squeeze, a gamma squeeze. There's a difference. So we'll talk about that. And then we'll actually go into a little bit of depth about the difference between gamma and short squeezes, because Bitcoin options are coming, like actual options. So they made it through the first hurdle, which was the SEC. Now they have to go, I think, through the OCC and the CFTC as the final stamp. And then once that happens, there's a chance that all sorts of activity could occur. So we'll go into that. If you have any questions, if you have like technical questions about your Hyper AI box or your nodes and stuff, I'm not answering that stuff. I don't know the answers to that crap. If they're doing some testing over the weekend in some secret lab somewhere, they're not texting me. So don't ask me those kind of questions. I can't do anything other than lie to you, make up some old stupid shit. So there you go. Yes, it could mean price go up. I mean, no one knows exactly how anything's going to be, because if they did, they'd have all the money, and nobody that we know has all the money, because we have some money. And if we have some money, that means no one else can have all the money. Like all these TA guys and idiots that you see on Twitter telling you for sure because of the cup and handle, it's obvious. The reverse Bart Simpson haircut chart. So, like, come on, man. So anyway, None of those guys actually trade. It's funny because you look at all those dudes that, oh, well, I don't, to stay impartial, I just make my proclamations, but I don't put real money in the market. Right. No shit. So, yeah, there it is. Marty. Yeah. Yeah, Brandon's having a party. Brandon's living that good life with his wife with a bunch of broken ribs, who's not living that good life. She's living that broken rib life. Okay, let me see. Oh, I do want to explain something. Okay, so there are some of you out there that were accredited investors that we had started getting messages like, well, I don't know if I want to be digital private client and all that kind of stuff, but I want in on some of the assets that you guys have. And while the only way to get in on early issue stuff in the very beginning is through digital private client, you can get access to those assets before they're public, but after the private clients have gotten their allocations. So what we're doing is we're setting up some private markets for various things like equity. There's a lot of other projects that the private clients are working on that we don't talk about in the public broadcast or even in the DI broadcast, because it doesn't make a difference because you have to be accredited to invest in these things. But we're going to create a way. Hi, kitty. We're going to create a way where many of you could participate as long as you are accredited. So if you're an accredited investor, and if you don't know what that means, you're probably not. But if you are, and you want to participate, but you don't want to be a private client, you will be able to, starting in about 2 weeks, depending on when we're plumbing all of this in the background right now. You'll be able to get to buy 5 NFTs and essentially cash those in for kind of like a gate key. There'll be an NFT that allows you to get into a special area of node market where things like true AGI equity has been tokenized as an internal function so that you could get equity in true AGI. We're doing all sorts of stuff with the tokenization of exotic cars and rental, stuff like that. We're doing like the Rolls Royce. We're also getting into film finance bridge loans, like high rate short-term bridge loans that we will participate in, tokenize that. So anyway, you would be able to participate in those kinds of things. But again, the early token stuff, like to be in on day one, that's digital private client. And you also have to be. But for those of you that don't want to make the commitment to be a private client, this is an alternative for you guys. Yay. There you go. There's the news on that. The private clients, if you didn't already know, most of you have already been issued a digital private client NFT that will act to token gate to basically get your wallet whitelisted to go in to this private area of node market. Yes, it's 5 node market NFTs that you would cash in for basically the I think we're calling it the accredited investor access. So AIA, and it'll be a special NFT that will allow you access to that back end to a lot of the things that are not offered, because we can't offer them because a lot of stuff legally can only give to accredited investors. Don't get mad at me. Go contact your senators or whatever. I don't know if you have senators where you live, but talk to them. They should know. But anyway, yeah. So there's that. Yeah, there will be those kinds of things, but always, for instance, early in on hypercycle, private clients, early in on true AGI, early in on Sophia, early in on Libra, early in on Twin, getting, being the first into those markets as a private or an angel investor into those projects. That's what digital private client is. That's why it's so easy for those guys to win. Like if you're first, takes a lot of the effort out of it. So anyway, you know the rules. You can be really good You can be really lucky, you can be a criminal, or you can just be first. And being first is the easiest path, right? Those other ones require, they require a lot. They require quite a lot. So there you go. Okay. Timothy says, use CoinTracker to track your holdings. It shows you have 500 USDT, but can't find the wallet. Be careful. It's not one of those scammy USDT airdrops. Sometimes there's like fake money airdrops and stuff like that. I would be careful. Also, I would try using DeBank. And DeBank, you can look at wallets all over the place and find out where they are. But yeah, I don't know what your relationship with CoinTracker, Timothy, is between you and CoinTracker. Let's see. The DI should also get it first before those who are not, just because they have NFT. Well, yeah, I mean, yes, kind of, but I mean, the main purpose of digital private client is that they get early access to stuff. Remember, if you're not an accredited investor, you legally can't do those, Wendy. It's not like we're holding stuff back from you guys. You legally cannot participate in those sales. There's like strict SEC rules about all this stuff. You don't have to take it from me. You can just go look up the rules for early issue assets. Go look at some of the history of some of the tokens that launched in 2017 and how you could and couldn't participate. And bar none, you had to be accredited. You would do an accredited investor survey. There's a company that goes and they look at your tax records. It's like you get like a huge microscope shoved right up your ass. And if you haven't satisfied all those things, you just don't get the accreditation. You don't get the accreditation, you don't get to participate in the early sales. In 2017, 2016, to participate in all those ICOs, the initial coin offerings, that's what they were called back then, ICOs. Then they switched to SAFEs, then SAFs. Securities agreement for future tokens, securities agreement for future equity, blah, blah, blah. Well, in that whole process, that whole spammy process, if you weren't accredited, you could not participate. Period, full stop, see you later, bye. That was it. There was just no way. So this is the only way we can do it. You still have to be accredited. We can't fudge that because law. There we go. Well, you don't have to be a DPC. None of you guys have to be digital private clients. I don't ask anybody to do that. You have to be accredited. And yes, that's how it works. If you're an accredited investor and you have to go, you'll have to interview for that, and you'll schedule a time to talk to Brandon to make sure. Otherwise, go and make sure you're accredited. Don't buy 5 NFTs and then you go, oh crap, you're not an accredited investor. We can't. You must be an accredited investor. Because law, not my laws, the laws. The minimum investment in early access for DPCs, you mean? Usually it's somewhere between 10 and 25K for early investments. Because it's like, what's the point of getting, hypercycle at 6 cents or 6.5 cents if you're buying 5K worth or right? So it's usually minimum on those kinds of things between 10 and 25,000. It depends on the investment. Like we're doing a pool for bridge funding for films, and that's films that have already finished, but they've run out of money, like in the editing bay, as an example. So we would give them a short-term loan, and we're setting that up where we'll invest into a pool, and the pool will do these bridge loans, and all these loans are set at a fixed 20%, and usually the return is between 6 months and 12 months. Anyway, that will be a pool of funds, and the one on that one, we're doing like a minimum of 10K and like a maximum of 25K, and that's so that everybody can participate. And everybody has access, Tim, to DeBank. It's a way to research your wallets. You can look at your wallet and look at all of the connections your wallet has. Just look up DeBank and kind of go down that path. All right. And always be careful that you're not clicking. You don't have to do anything. There's no transfer of private keys or anything like that with DeBank. it just looks at your wallets. You literally just, it's the same thing as using Etherscan, basically. You just give the wallet address. You don't log in. You don't do anything. Don't ever, ever, ever disclose your private keys or passphrases to any wallet ever. Not to staff at Coinbase. Not to anyone except me if I should call you late at night at 3 a.m. with a distinctly Bangladesh accent. If it is Nick calling at 3 a.m. and I want your private keys, I'm pulling a fucking scam. So please give me your keys. But anything other than Bangladesh Nick at 3 a.m., do not disclose your private keys. All right. Accreditation. I think Howard, I don't know if Howard's here somewhere. Howard, can you bring up the accreditation standards? But I believe it's individually, there's a couple ways to do it, but you can have as a family 300K in income for the prior 2 years, personal income 200K, liquid outside of your household. You have to be liquid. One of ways is liquid for $1 million in assets, not counting your home, like the home where you live. So there's a couple of metrics that you have to meet. The idea is that an accredited investor is a more educated investor, and they understand the risks of early projects and how most of them tank, right? I mean, you look across the wide spectrum of early investments, oil investing, all of that kind of stuff. You invest in oil rigs and stuff like that, 1 in 100 goes. All the others are dust, and then they're used as tax write-offs and all that kind of stuff. But if they want you to be an educated investor so that you understand the risks that you're taking. That makes sense. Woo. Yes, there are multiple forms for accreditation. There's a lot of ways to reach that. Just make sure before you do this that if you want to do it, then that's fine. Okay. All right. Oh, the kitties are tearing shit up. Meow meows. That's the problem with not having Brandon. Is usually I can run off and check on him. Give me 30 seconds. Let me just take a 30-second check on these little bastards. All right. So I just plugged in a bunch of cat pheromones. I don't know if anybody's done this, but I bought a bunch of pheromones for cats. Cat pheromones. It's a thing. Anyway, and I just plugged them in. And I'm trying to look at the best places tactically to plug them in, but I don't know how it's going to affect them. I don't know if cats that are basically wild, if house cat pheromones work. I mean, a cat pheromone is a cat pheromone, the way I look at it. Anyway, we'll see. Will you still draw the funds monthly? No. So the 5 NFT thing to get behind the gate and be in that pool of assets. That's just a one-time thing that allows you access to those assets. So that's what that is. Okay. All right. All right. Howard's back. That's good. That's good. Yeah. I am going to be running. I may have told you guys. I'm probably going to be running 2 master nodes, and my goal was to run one myself, and then one, probably through like whatever HyperPG looks like, or there's other entities coming on board like HyperPG that are not HyperPG. So you're going to have options. But I want to do one myself, which is why I'm looking at how would I build a capable rig, and is that even feasible? Or would I manage like my own instance in some kind of cloud service that's not HyperPG? I don't know. I'm going to mess with it. So anyway, I'm going to have like one that I kind of mess with on my own and one that I just park wherever is the easiest scenario through Hypercycle, and whether that's HyperPG or whatever. Yeah. So there you go. Okay. Yeah. Also, yeah. Anybody that's done their series exams, and I think the SIE, whatever I think one of those counts as well. I forget what my buddy's going through it right now with some firm. Anyway, whatever. Yeah. Oh, any Twin Libra updates? Okay, the Twin update is the same. From what I've heard, it's they're trying to time it with some events or something, which I think is silly. I think they should have already launched. But they're trying to time it with some stuff. And I guess they're thinking like the second week in October. I mean, I don't know at this point anymore. I don't take much they say seriously, just because they're not the ones. They're not in control of their own launch. They're not in control of their own launch. That's all I can say. And every time I talk to them, it's pretty clear they're not in control of their own launch. They've ceded that to Singularity DAO. And so at this point, they're on Mario's timeline, whatever that is. And I don't talk to Mario. I blocked him after all that ASI stuff. I blocked him because I thought that was all foolish. I still think it's foolish. And yeah, not a big fan of Mario. But so that's that. All right. Okay. Accreditation is million in net worth, more than 200K earned past 2 years, same expectations. Yeah, I think, or 300 family. Okay, cool. Woo. It's a total of 5 NFT. No, it would be 5 new specifically for that. It would be just for that. Let's see. NFTs get burned. No. You're not going to lose the NFTs. It would just be like you buy a chunk of 5 for that. Brandon would look, verify, and then you would get the NFT. You're not going to burn them. You still get. That's the beauty of these NFTs is you still get to use them for revenue generation. All right. Sorry if I said that. Oh, yeah, I guess I said you swap them. Yeah, you don't actually give them to anybody. Like, you have them. And then that qualifies you to get this NFT, which qualifies you to go behind the wall. All right. Whew. All right. I think we nailed all that kind of stuff. Let me see if there's any other question. Has Twin finished? I don't know, man. I don't think, again, Twin is listening to their lawyers in Singularity DAO, but probably mostly Singularity DAO. So there you go. Are we behind the wall? No, we're not behind the wall. We will be there in just a second. Twin not in control of their own launch. Mario, not a good mix. Yeah, they've had, Mario's had some successes, but I think that the ASI whole thing has been a big fail. And I think those guys confused the run-up in AI assets and the success of AI with their own success. Like, somehow they believe that they are responsible for the boon in AI that we got from OpenAI releasing ChatGPT. Somehow Mario and those guys think they have something to do with that. It's weird. Um, but I believe they believe that they were part of this whole thing, that they were material, which we all know is nonsense. Let's see. How big of a deal is the tilling issue? There's no tilling issue. You don't have tilling on new licenses, but when compute rolls out, you'll be getting tilling plus compute plus, so you'll be getting tilling, so uptime, compute, and reputational score all at the same time. You'll make up a lot of lost ground. It's cool to have tilling while you wait. Which, people with hyper AI boxes, things like that, that's great. People that are super, super geniuses could probably already set up on their own equipment some kind of tilling, right? But I don't know how to do that. But once compute starts, you'll catch up really quickly. So I think it's cool. I don't think it's more than a few months of an advantage, because it's one metric among three, and when compute rolls out, you'll be getting all three, and you'll catch up really quickly. It's still the fastest someone can split a node is 6 months. That's if you have a perfect tilling, uptime, and reputational score, and when that node gets bombarded with requests and it reaches that threshold of 2 on that score, then you split. So that's cool. So yeah, where is Deputy Neil? I haven't seen him. All right. So here's what we're gonna do. It is Joseph as the deputy, the deputy incumbent. Let's see real quick. Are nodes with tilling worth 10x the price over those that don't? No. God, no. I would say that nodes with tilling are worth 25% more. It'll get you along the way quicker to your first split. That is true, but certainly not worth 10 times. I would say they're worth 25% more. No X's there, unless it's a 1/4 X. They're worth 1.25 what they were. It's a 1.25x. How about that? And yes, let's go behind the wall. We're getting behind the wall. We're going to talk about Bitcoin and what I think could be a potential gamma squeeze upwards, which would be cool. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about what the near term looks like for options. And then we'll talk gamma versus short squeezes, because we've got to put some education in our brain boxes. So yeah, man. Stay frosty. Let's do our little thing now. Let me quiet this one and bring this one up to here. We do some stuff.
Going behind the proverbial wall now to continue the broadcast privately for the digital investors and digital private clients. If you'd like to join us, simply go to nickblacknext.com and subscribe to one of our plans and immediately take advantage of our library of tools, tactics, and information. It's all designed to help you learn, grow, and manage your portfolio like a pro. Join us now.